It's not that technology is bad. It's not that technology is bad. It's not the problem that your laptop links you to unlimited information on this planet. It is not the problem that we have multiple devices connecting to all the different abilities to share, to connect, and to disconnect. You know what I actually wonder is today when I look down in look up from my cell phone, realizing who is around me, might be in the subway or in the bus, and I see all the mothers with the baby carriages walking around, and they're standing there waiting for their station, looking at their iPhones, or notes, or whatever, chatting on the phone with somebody. And I wonder what it is for the babies. They're looking up, and what they're supposed to see is leaves. Actually, that is why green is so soothing for us, because we're supposed to be carried around by our mothers, seeing green, seeing leaves, and that's how we learn to focus, to look into the far distant, to focus on beauty and dangers alike. But what the babies see nowadays is their mommies staring at their cell phones, laughing and crying over the content that comes out of that small device. And the only thing they can actually really realize is, whatever life is, it must be in there. It must be in that device, in the television, in the tablets, in the cell phones. And that's the problem. That's the problem. And the kids, we already see the first generation growing up, and they're sitting next to each other, and they look at their cell phones and they text to each other instead of just turning around and talking, meeting people, meeting strangers. They need apps nowadays to flirt. I know people in their 20s that instead of going somewhere to concerts, festivals, whatever, hanging out at state parks, they find their match online on Match.com. They find products. They don't know what kind of products they would want. This is how far capitalism has brought us. They don't even know what they want, so they look at reviews, like how did my friends react on that product. I also need that. They think it's cool. Not realizing that what they call friends, because they're friends lists on Facebook or whatever, are sometimes people they haven't seen for years. Haven't seen at all. Don't even know anything about them but the personality they provide on social media. And that's the problem. And they're naturally the ones who say, like, okay, so the problem is the technology. But no, it's not the technology. It is the sad truth that what was given to us by all the intelligent brains that make it possible to exchange, information on Twitter, Facebook, Google Plus. It actually doesn't really matter, which would give us the possibility to actually find out, well, what is really going on in, I don't know, Saudi Arabia. How are people there? Let me connect to different groups there. Let me get information on a complete different level, so I don't have to listen to all the lies by Fox News and all the other broadcasters. But that's not what we're doing. We're sharing pictures of cute kittens, intoxicated kids, because everybody thinks it's funny that somebody would actually make a video of their own child, regardless of any data that is valuable and should be protected, but put it out there when he was after a dentist visit. It's not the technology. It's always not the tool. It's how we treat it. Just like we stand there in front of Wall Street and protest, in front of all the big corporations we despise. That's why we listen to Bernie Sanders, who wants to empower the people, the 99%, as he calls them. And that is why I despise you. Not because he's wrong, and not because it's wrong. It's the tool is not the problem. You are the problem. You got to change. See, you can't really take care of your pets and have a bumper sticker against the cruelty against animals and then go into Walmart and buy your piece of meat for $3.99 because it's on sale and you got a coupon to get 2 for 1. That's the problem. That's actually the problem. You are the problem. You got to change. And you know it. You hate me, and maybe you have turned off this video by now because it's either it is not technically advanced for you, or you have to admit that you just hate what I say because it's so true. Because at one point in your life you have given up on yourself and accepted certain things and that just can't be explained. Because you have answers like, well, it's complicated, the GOP and blah, yada, yada, but you can't explain why 40,000 kids starve to death. Why you sit there and enjoy your breakfast at McDonald's that you can have at 6 p.m. now. You can't explain why we have 40,000 Americans every morning that stand in a line to get some food out of some kind of soup kitchen. You can't explain that. You can't explain why it is necessary that education is not accessible for all of us. Because there is no reason. You can actually have some, at a certain point, there are so many layers of reasoning that you actually can't get down to the point. But you realize it is wrong. How can the government spend more for a jet? With the amount that would feed our school children for the next 27 years. Sense that the money's not there. If you have the right interest, they print it for you. And whenever they're printed for somebody, it's the loss of somebody else. It's the loss of the third world. It's the loss of the rainforest. It's the loss of everything we stand for when we actually are asked and have to answer, what are your values in life? And you know all of this. Yeah, you know all of this. Tell me what you're going to do. Write a comment.